And welcome back to Coach's Corner, everyone. Ryan Fran, the Public Information Officer for Arcadia Unified School District, joined with the coach of the Arcadia High School football team, Andrew Policky. And Coach, so we're going into this week 1-1. First week, 20-10 win at LaSalle. Then last week, Cathedral didn't go exactly how we planned.
Did not.
49-0. And then this week, we are hosting Hart. So 3 weeks into the season, how are you guys feeling?
Feel okay. We feel okay. You know, we got to win the first week. And, you know, we knew it wasn't pretty. We didn't play as well as we thought we could have, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, we were hoping to take a step forward in that area week 2 against Cathedral, and it didn't really work out that way. I thought, you know, we didn't play very well offensively. We might have probably played a little worse. Now, I understand the level of competition was definitely better, so that is always going to play into that a little bit. Got to tip your hat to them. They played some good defense. They played good defense in their week 1 win against Santa Fe. They only gave up 3 points. So we struggled to move the ball. At times looked really bad offensively, but I think a little bit of that was us. You know, not being able to snap the ball to the quarterback was frustrating to watch. I'm sure it was frustrating for all the fans to watch. Turning the ball over a few times was, you know, some things that we just can't do if we're going to beat quality football teams. You know, our quarterback play wasn't great, but yeah, I guess you could say that for across the board, from every position offensively. So we struggled a lot. We played great defense week 1 against LaSalle, but we knew coming into this week it was a different animal. Tough matchup-wise with us against Cathedral in terms of all the athletes that they run out there against you. In terms of, you know, we're in some nickel a little bit on defense. We did some different things to try to match up, and always felt like we were a step behind. Their quarterback play was outstanding. Bryce had a great game against us statistically, and it showed out on the field. He made some next level throws, and, you know, tip our cap to him. And, you know, we knew it was going to be tough going into that game. You know, where they're a good football team. They've been doing it for a while now. They had a great season last year. They're bringing some guys back this year, so we knew it was going to be tough. And, you know, I just hope that we would have played a little bit better and competed a little bit better in that type of situation. I just don't know that we did. So moving forward into this week against Hart, really looking for our guys to answer the bell. They took one on the chin last week. We got knocked out. Now it's time to see if we're going to get up off of the mat and compete against another good football team. This is a team that we're playing this week, Hart, that's talented, very well coached, very disciplined. They've been good for a long time over there. They got a really nice program, and they lost their opener last week against Downey High School. So they're going to be excited to play us this week and get a notch a win, put one in the win column, and get off the schneid for this year for them. So it's we know it's going to be tough, but we're excited for another opportunity. I hope we learn from, you know, playing against a good football team last week, kind of what it takes to compete at that level. I think every time we get an opportunity to do that, it's good for our program.
So what's coming off a loss like that, what's the message in practice, and how do the players respond getting ready for another tough game this week?
Just seeing, you know, where we've come from and kind of where we need to be to get to the level of the Cathedrals and the Harts of the world. It's just the level of discipline and execution that you see on film when you're breaking these teams down. Like Hart, just seeing their keys on defense and reacting to their keys, they're just outstanding. They do a phenomenal job of that type of thing, and I think those are the types of things that, for us to take the next step and get to the next level, it's not just, you know, making an occasional play here and there, or, you know, if you're going to beat quality football teams, you need to do things the right way all of the time. And I don't think that we're at that level yet, but that's kind of what we're pushing towards. So for us, it's just, you know, we have to eliminate mistakes, eliminate penalties, execute at a high level, and compete against some talented teams. It's you know, if we can start to do all of those things, and I think as we move into league, where we're not going to see Hart and we're not going to see Cathedral, it's going to set us up to hopefully make a nice run.
Anybody stand out for you guys last week that played well when you watched the film? You said, you know, so and so did pretty good. I like what I saw here.
For sure. I mean, we have our middle linebacker, tight end kid, Jake Metters, who's a junior this year. Played pretty well for us. Not his probably best game, but of all the guys defensively that showed up on film, I would say probably he was the one. And then offensively, we had one of our guards on offense, Nick Carrillo, who played a pretty good game for us up front against some tough competition. He held up well in protection. He did some nice things in the run game. We need some more guys up in that unit to play at that level, but he played pretty well, so I was happy with what he did and how he competed.
So we got Hart this week. We talked about it. You mentioned how they lost to Downey last week, 42-35. So they come in 0-1. What are you guys expecting from Hart? You said how good they look on film. What will it take for you guys, and what can kind of the fans that don't know Hart very well, what can we expect to see from them?
Another outstanding quarterback this week. Their quarterback is committed to Cal. He hasn't started a bunch of games. He backed up a guy last year. He was also very good. So, not a ton of experience, but a ton of talent. The kid's a tall kid, taller than the kid last week. Throws the ball really well. He'll run a little bit too. He's a good enough athlete to hurt you with his feet. And they just do a really nice job of executing what they do. They've been doing it over there for a long time, and they do it very well. They're very well coached and very disciplined, and it's going to take a team effort for us to be able to compete at that level.
So you guys had Bryce Young last week, a likely Division I player, and JT Shrout you're talking about. He's already committed to Cal, as you said, and it is interesting because he played behind Nick Moore last year, who's now playing in Eastern Washington, who's the brother of Matt Moore in the NFL. So there's not much film on this kid.
No.
He started, I think, a game last year, got some snaps, and then just last week. So how do you kind of prepare for a guy who's super talented, but there's not much film out there?
I mean, you just do the best you can. And when you're preparing for a talented quarterback, he's going to touch the ball every play where, there's nothing you can do to prevent him from getting the football. So, aside from them fumbling the exchange, he's going to touch the ball every play. So for us, we know he's going to be able to make some next level throws, which kind of opens up their whole playbook for them. He can throw the deep comebacks and the outs and those types of things, and the deep crossing routes and the ball over the top. Like he can make all those throws. He's a talented quarterback, so we're going to have to defend the whole field. Our defensive backs, if he scrambles and moves out of the pocket, we can't just turn and run and chase the ball. We're going to have to stay on cover until we know he's crossed the line of scrimmage. So we're just going to have to be very disciplined in the back end, make sure we don't give up any home runs, any deep balls, and understand that they're going to make some plays, and we're going to have to line up on the next play and compete again and get some stops. It's going to be one of those games where where they're going to make some plays, but we're going to have to make some plays too in order to compete. So that's kind of what I'm looking for from our guys. When he hits a throw, are we going to line up again and put our heads down, or are we going to line up and compete and get after it on the next play?
So you guys have Hart Friday, then you have the bye week, and then league play, first game at Muir. To do anything, is that a good timing for the bye week before heading into league play after these two tough games?
I think so. Traditionally, we've taken the bye week around the Labor Day holiday just so we could take that day off and not stress it. We changed it up this year to try to take the bye week going into league just so we get a little bit of rest and some extra time to prepare for our week, our first league opponent. So I think it's going to work out well for us. We're a little dinged up, so we should get some guys back from injury heading into that game, which I think we'll set up nicely. But not really looking ahead too much to that just yet. Just mostly focused on Hart and trying to bounce back from an ugly performance last week.
So the NFL season kicks off. Before we let you go, any thoughts? You have a favorite for the NFL this year?
I've been a lifelong Cowboys fan, so I cheer for the Cowboys and hate all other 31 teams. Hate them all equally.
You and the rest of your coaching staff.
We have a few Cowboy fans on staff. That's how I hire guys.
I know Maxie. His Facebook page is loaded with Cowboy.
We have a litmus test when I sit down, look at the resumes. Are you a Cowboys fan or are you not a Cowboys
Redskins fan? Thanks for replying. We'll see you next week.
They're looking for coaches at me.
So what do you think the Cowboys are capable of this year?
The NFL is you're not going to make a ton of money making predictions on NFL games. In my book, those games are.
No, you're not.
It's better than the Patriots year in and year out. I guess you got a shot, but aside from that, it's just you're one injury away from being bad, and it's tough. It's tough to predict. I think they have a pretty good football team. They should be able to score points. Defensively, they're really young in the secondary, so they might struggle a little bit early on. They got the Giants this week. Maybe Odell Beckham's going to give them some problems, but I hope they do well. I don't have too much time, unfortunately, to watch about as much football as I would like as a fan, but I always root for my Ducks and my Cowboys, though.
All right. Who knew you were a Cowboy fan?
Cowboys, man.
There
my
you
brother
go.
got me.
All right. We know you're concentrated on Friday night, though. Hart at Arcadia, Salter Stadium, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Thanks for stopping by, Coach. We appreciate it. This has been another edition of the Coach's Corner with Andrew Policky. We'll see everyone Friday night.
Thank you.